Before we get into the video, if you guys like our stuff, don't forget to subscribe down below for more non-meta content coming your way. Alright y'all, welcome back to another deck profile in depth. Kind of brought you this already, but we're doing Vegeta. Have a bit more time to explain it and get more to the core. Really amazing leader, really good deck. This is blue Vegeta. On attack, draw 1. When you're awakening, you draw 1. And then when you have 4 or less life and you awaken, when attacking on the flip side, he draws 1. And this is why I really like this leader. Activate main once per turn. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, you gain 15,000 power for the turn. It's actually crazy. Because odds are you probably gonna have 7 or less. And then even if you have more than 7, you're probably gonna be comboing at that point onto your battle cards and then get down to 7 or 7 or less. And then even if you have 7 or less, use the effect, it's going to stick for the rest of the turn. So if you go more than 7, you still have that power boost. And it's honestly, it's just really good. All around leader. This deck is super fun to play. So let's see what's in it, okay? We got 4 of the 1-drops Trunks Youth. So on play, you're drawing 1 card. Pretty much a staple for most decks to have those draw 1s, because on turn 1, or even on those like, you know, turn 4 or 5, if you have 1 energy remaining, maybe you're able to sneak it in. And even if it doesn't have playability later on, because you do have the cards for your future plays, you're just gonna be playing in your energy, right? So it never hurts to be able to draw 1, especially on turn 1, okay? Honestly, yo, she's one of the stars of this deck. Countless times I've used this, especially in Niagara and just free play as well. What she does on play, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and you reduce its play cost by 1, which is really helpful because for the different cards in your deck, such as Vegeta or Son Gohan Adolescence, that bounces your opponent's cards back to the hand or to the deck, that have a designated play cost, you're lowering your opponent's play cost of a battle card by 1. So now you have a greater range of what you can return to the hand or what you can return to the deck. And again, as I told you this countless times where I've used this that it saved me, and it's what's like super mod about her is that she has 10k combo power. So you play her for the effect, and now you're able to combo with her as well. She's necessary for the deck. You got Bulma herself, okay, has to look out for her hubby. So when you play her, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand again, you choose up to 1 of your Vegeta cards and it gains 10,000 power for the turn. So it's either good for your leader or it's good for the crit that we're going to get into, okay? Okay, what's super crazy about her is that you play her for her effect, give 10k to your leader or to your crit Vegeta, and then her combo power is 10k. So essentially for 1 cost, you're getting 20k power on 1 of your cards. It's super crazy, man. And then this guy, I know you guys say he's busted. I can't lie, he probably is. I think that they should at least say you can't grab peel off from his effect, and I think that would make it a bit more balanced. But basically on play, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, you add up to 1 card with a cost of 1 or less, and Earthling and special traits from your drop to your hand. So basically you can recover any of these 1-drops, including Pilaf himself. So it's always good to have at least 1 in your hand and not to just play them all as combo. Because if you have at least 1 in your hand, then you can always be able to play it to get it back from your drop, okay? So just keep that in mind, to always try to have at least 1 in your hand, and don't, like, if you have 2, don't just like play them in the same turn to get these cards back, but always try to keep 1 because it's good for the future turns. And even if you're using it for defense, that's good as well, okay? Because next turn you can just slap it down, get 1 back, okay? So really good at recycling all your 1-drops, and it really keeps the engine going early on, okay? So let's get to the 2-drops. We got 4 copies of the 2-drop Crit Vegeta. Again, it works really well with Bulma, because say for example it's turn 3 and you don't really have any of your Vegeta 3-drops to play. You can easily play Vegeta for 2, play Bulma for 1, give him the 10k power, so it's 30k, and when you attack with him, you combo with this Bulma, it's 40k crit. That's crazy for turn 3. But even on turn 2, just playing that Vegeta is super value, because oftentimes by then you're attacking a leader that has 15k power. So even if you don't combo, which you should, because this deck is all about comboing, because you can easily get back resources. If you combo unit of 5k on your first swing on turn 2, it's 25k crit against 15. You're forcing your opponent to dish out their hand or to take that crit. That's why I love decks like this. That's why I love Patent Masters, because you're forcing your opponent to do something at like little to no cost to you. So super value in this deck. even late game, it's super value, okay? Unless your opponent has 1 life left, and at that point, better save your energy for other cards. But even if they have 2 or 3 life left, this is still very versatile. You have 4 of the 2-drop Videls. Yo, she's one of the main stars of this deck, okay? Because she's recycling many cards in your deck, okay? If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, you add up to 1 blue non-Videl card. This is what Pilaf should have been, non-Pilaf card. So non-Videl card with a cost of 3 or less, and Earthling is special traits from your drop to your hand. This is when attacking, okay? So you're already attacking for 20k, which is oftentimes going to match your opponent's leader or be above. And then you get to bring back an Earthling from your drop to your hand. So it's basically unlimited combo power at that point because you're really recycling. If you bring her back and then you play him on a next for another attack to gain something back from your drop, and then you swing with another card, you can combo with him, and then maybe you brought him back so you have one back in your hand from that initial play, and again, it just keeps the combo going. That makes sense, right? So yeah, super value in Videl. If you have 2 or 3 of her on board, is super crazy. You're always recovering cards, which means that on your leader attack, on your crit attack, on Videl attack, you're always able to combo. And this deck is really aggressive because the more you combo, the better it is for you because you just have more resources to bring back anyway. So you're actually barely ever losing your hand in this deck. We only have 1 type of 3-drop battle card, and this is the Vegeta. So it's the permanent. Its ability is it's permanent on your turn. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, reduce the battle cards in your opponent's battle area by 1. So if you're combining this with Mai, you're basically able to now on your SCR return a 7 cost to the hand. Or with Sun Gohan Adolescence, maybe 5 costs now become 3 costs because you chose one of their 5 costs to make it a 4, and then on the Vegeta ability automatically makes that down 1 as well. So a 5 becomes a 3, and when you're playing Sun Gohan Adolescence, now you can pop back a 3 cost. So really good. And then on the on play, you can bounce back one of their 1 cost to the opponent's deck. So really good card, and it has 25k attack. And then again, it has combo power, right? So really versatile card. I really like using it. It's helped me out a lot. Let's go next to the next bouncer. So we got Sun Gohan Adolescence on play. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards with cost 3 or less and place them at the bottom of the owner's deck. So again, in combination with Mai or this Vegeta, you have some range, right, into what you can return to the bottom of your opponent's deck. And 2 of your opponent's cards is really good because oftentimes it can help clear the board or help to lower the board. Mainly for you is getting rid of your opponent's cards in which their effects are affecting you, or again, you're just getting rid of opponent's cards because now they have less to combo with and you already have the advantage in comboing most of the time, right? So the way I've used this card is just really get rid of their board in the way that they have less combo power against me. And I really like to be able to do that. Let's get into the 5 drops. I'm gonna save the double strike for last because you already know it's in this deck, but 3 of the SCRs, okay? I was thinking running 4, but we're doing 3 just to bounce it out here. Really good card. It doesn't return to the bottom of your opponent's deck, but it does bounce it back to their hand, which is the on-play, a cost of card of 5 costs or less. Again, it could be maybe up to 7 because maybe you already have the Vegeta on board that reduces their cost by 1 already, and you play Mai the same turn. So very versatile. And then when you attack, okay, attack goes through, it doesn't, whatever. Activate main once per turn. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, once per turn, switch it back to active mode. So really good card. Can get you 2 attacks in the same turn, which oftentimes it really did do that for me because I am bordering around 7 cards or less. And you're able to control that with previous attacks by just comboing and then getting that down, right? If you need to get it down to 7. We're gonna go into the Vegeta. This has gotten me most of my wins for this deck, which is the double striker. And then on play, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, which costs 4 less and place at the bottom of your opponent's deck. Really good. Again, getting rid of your opponent's board to help you go into that final attack so they have less combo power. And the double strike is amazing. It's 35k double strike, which is really good. And if you have 6 energy left and you play this and then you play a Bulma to get this 10k, which is 45k, and then you're using the Bulma to combo, that's already 55k, which is crazy. And then plus all the other cards you'll probably have by then, maybe another Pilaf, maybe the Mai's in your hand, the 10k's in your hand, is really, really good, okay? So I love the double strikers because oftentimes I found facing people when they have 3 life left and I'm attacking with my leader to make them go down to 2 because I can play this card. Sometimes they're forgetting that I might have a double strike in my hand because of the way I'm just nonchalantly kind of comboing to this or another card I might have on my board. kind of trying to slyly combo onto a previous attack to get them down to 2, so I can go for the double strike and then hopefully go for game because of all the 10k combo power I have in my hand or on the board. Really good card. We're running 3 Zenos. Yo, this is so good because if you get up to 6 energy and then your opponent passes your turn, they're not able to defeat you and their board is stacked, you're probably going into a Zeno if you don't have another card to go for a game, and it's just really good because it's clearing their whole entire board. And if you have no cards left, this is just a bonus for you, but if you have cards left, maybe you can swing, get their life down, and then play a Zeno, right? If you're fearful that you won't be able to kill them on this turn, you're at least stopping them next turn. So Zeno is a must. I feel like I ran, again, this deck really reminds me of Pan for Masters because I always ran Zeno in my Pan deck, which really helped me a lot because I would run the Zeno from like the Chain Attack Trunks, and then like it was helping me a lot back in Masters to clear the opponent's board when I wasn't able to go in for the kill that turn, or if the board is just super crazy, I need to get rid of it, so I'm able to go in for the kill so that they have less combo power or their effects on board are mitigated because their cards are going back to their deck, and this really reminds me of that. The Zeno in this deck as well. It doesn't get rid of your opponent's hand like it did in Masters, but it does get rid of their board, which is really good. 4 super combos, obviously. We're picking Videl, just your typical super combo. So just something to know if you guys are going for Masters. The 10k effect, the extra 10k is only going to be on your opponent's turn, okay? So if you are using a super combo on your turn, it's 10k, but if your opponent's attacking you and you're comboing to defend, you get an extra 10k. So super combos on your opponent's turn are basically 20k, on your turn it's 10k, okay? We're only running 5 extra cards, which is 2 different types. We have 3 Sinister Sickles, really good. Okay, activate main, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards, which costs 4 less, and place them at the bottom of their opponent's deck in any order. And again, maybe you can make it a 5 because you have Vegeta on board, or maybe you're returning a 6 drop because you play Mai and then you play that. Okay, I've done that a couple times. So Sinister Sickle is really, really good because it really helps to clear your opponent's board for a very low cost when you think about it. And then 2 Final Hope Slash, which is activate battle on your turn. You choose one of your battle cards or leader, it gets 20,000 power for the duration of the battle, and then choose up to one battle card that costs 2 or less and return to the owner's hand. So helps to clear the board slightly, but mostly you're using it during your turn to go for the kill. I've used this quite a few times with the double strike Vegeta. You're going from 35k to 55k just for 1 cost, adding 20k, right? So deck is really, really good, guys. That was kind of the deck profile, but now some strategies. I find that if you guys are facing green and you're getting that energy marker, you want to aim for this. Okay, you want to aim for the Vegeta because before green ramps up, you want to crit them down so they don't gain life from into their hand, and even to help to mill down their hand because you're forcing them to combo to save their life. And if they don't combo, they may not be losing their hand, but they're not saving their life. So Vegeta is very, very important facing green. Okay, and then against anything else in your first hand, really you can go for the Videls. So you're aiming for those 2 drops because Videl is just helping you get basically free swings because now you're able to return a card from your drop to your hand. So oftentimes they're gonna have to combo because you're basically comboing with her for free, okay? Because anything that you combo with, you could bring it back the next turn, right? Or the next battle. Say for example, I attack with my leader, I combo. It's basically a free combo because now when I attack with Videl, I get to take that card back. Okay, so it's when attacking, so the card already has to be in the drop. And if you're attacking with 2 Videls, attack with the first Videl, take a card back, and then combo with her as well. And then you're attacking with the next Videl, and the card you just combo with on that first Videl, you're bringing it back. Okay, so that effect is when attacking, which is before the combo step. So those are basically the opening strategies for the opening hand. So you're going for those Vegetas against green, and then basically anything else you're going against Videl. You're going for Videl in your mulligan. But either way, even if you have Vegeta and you don't have Videl for any other deck, Vegeta is really good. I often found crit is just a really good thing to have against any opponent because you are forcing your opponent basically to get rid of their hand or to take their life. So it's a win-win for you. Even if you don't have the Videl, Vegeta is still good. But again, the Videl is just optimal against other decks because it's helping you to gain cards back from your drop area, which is helping you to preserve your hand. Trunks Youth, the on place to draw 1 card is really only good if you have 1 energy. Otherwise, late game, I often find myself putting into my energy, which is not bad. So you don't have to ditch other cards into your energy. Or there may be times where you have leftover energy and you'll be able to play him, draw a card, and then you can still combo with him, right? So those one drop draw ones are always very versatile and always really good. And like I said, the strategy for Mai is that you are lowering the play cost of one of your opponent's battle cards to now be able to use some of your other battle cards in conjunction with that. Okay, so I typically am not playing Mai for any other reason than to use the effect, because otherwise you're just wasting an energy at that point. You're not going to attack with her, so you might as well keep her in your hand. So you're only playing her for effect to combo with other cards that kind of utilize that effect. Maybe you're using her with the Vegeta, so now you can return a 2 cost to hand. I don't know why you would really do that, but with her effect on the on play and then the Vegeta effect on your turn, that's basically making your opponent's battle card, one of your opponent's battle card play cost go down by 2. So now you can return a 7 cost to the hand with Vegeta, or bottom deck a 6 cost, good for those androids, right, against green. So really good strategy there with Mai. Pilaf, kind of explained it slightly already, but just for the more in-depth, like I said, always make sure you have at least one in your hand, unless you're going for game, obviously, because if you always have at least one in your hand, that means you are always recycling. Okay, so Pilaf is really good. Some of y'all saying you should be banned. I probably agree, or not even banned. I would just say again, errata. You can't take back a Pilaf, and I think it's fixed in my personal opinion. Okay, oftentimes, like I said, you want these guys to go for game. I don't know if you're going to go for game with any other card. Maybe sometimes the Zeno, because you just cleared your opponent's board and they may not have any cards left in hand, and you can go for an attack with Zeno. I've done that a couple times, but these are going to be your game finishers that you are working towards. And a game finisher for five costs is actually really good, especially with that double strike, right? Because if you get your opponent down to 2 and you're clearing the heck out of them with your 2-drop Vegeta, by the time you get to turn 5, that double strike might be very doable, okay, or even turn 6, right? But oftentimes turn 5, turn 6, depending how you played your hand and how you defended or how you've comboed to lower your opponent's life, you can potentially go for a game. And if not, then hopefully turn 6. If you get to turn 7 and beyond, might be a bit of a shaky game, the fact that it's gone so long and your opponents are able to build their board, especially for green. But that's the idea of this deck, is to play aggro, but also at the same time, if you're being defensive because you're not able to play aggro at the time, again, you have the combo power to be defensive. So really good all around deck. Really good to be aggro. It could defend, but don't play defensive, play aggro. But if you have to play defensive, now you're able to play defensive because of all the combo power. There's only a few cards in this deck that don't have combo power, which is this one going Adolescence, the Vegeta, and the Videls. Otherwise, you have a lot of combo power here, okay, to defend or to attack. So that's the Vegeta, blue Vegeta deck profile, a bit more in-depth. Maybe I explained it a bit more differently than I did from the top 4 video, and that was my goal, just to give you guys a bit more look on the deck itself. But let us know what you think. I do see this deck being pretty decent for a long time, because I'm going to make the bandit that it goes as far as Pan does, and to this day Masters will still play Pan, and to my knowledge is still pretty viable. So that's my bet on this deck. It's always going to be viable. I don't know what would really crush it, and even if the Pilaf becomes banned or ratted, I still think this deck is still going to be pretty viable, and it can only get better. You know, Vegeta always has support. Blue cards always have support. So the way I see it is this deck is going to go for a very long time. It may not be as powerful as, or maybe glass cannon powerful as is with the Pilaf, but I think it will still be very powerful to compete in any tournament to come, with some modifications based on future cards or future erratas or bans. It's still going to stand a chance. So that's the non-meta deck profile. Be out. Tune into the next video, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.